Hello all. In this video, let's take a look at error handling. What exactly is error handling and how it is really useful in the real world situations. Let's assume that you developed a macro and everything, whatever the lines of code that you written in a macro, it performs on sheet 4. And just assume that a case where someone has written the sheet 4, and now whenever you try to execute the macro, it throws you some error, right? Let's see how we can handle those kind of situations. Let's go back into our excel sheet, and here we don't have a sheet 4, and I'm going to write a function to access the sheet 4. So click on developer tab and click on visual basic. I would like to insert a module, so click on here, insert a new module. I would like to do like error handling. I'm naming it over here, you can see. Okay, so sub, I would like to click sub error handling. Okay, so let's declare a variable dim ws as worksheet. If in case if you have not watched my previous videos, please do watch. I explained how to declare the variables over there. Let's set this worksheet ws is equal to this, sorry, this workbook dot sheets of sheet 4. But we already know that this sheet 4 is not an option here, it's not available here. Let's quickly see what will happen. I'm saving this one, I'm clicking on run. Okay, now you can see that subscript out of range. This is a runtime error 9. If in case if you would like to know more, if you'd like to know more about this runtime error, just open a Google tab and then search for this one, or you can use a ChatGPT to or Gemini as well to understand how this what exactly this error means. So for now, I'm clicking on end. So now I know that, and you also know that the sheet 4 is not there. That's the reason we are getting this error. Now, what we can do, instead of throwing an hard coded error, just assume that you worked on this project and you deliver to a business user. And whenever a business user is running, if they come across these kind of errors, so they definitely think that something goes wrong. So what we have to do in whenever we encounter these kind of situations, we have to write a program in such a way that it still executes and it gives a nice error instead of a hard coded error. Let's see what we can do. So this is the one of the cases where I can get an error, probably because there is no sheet. Ideally what I do is that I use this error handling on error resume next. So basically what I'm trying to tell is that, hey, whenever there is an error, don't give me the hard coded error pop up. Instead of that, just go ahead and run. Okay, now I'm saving this one. Let's click on the play button. You can see the sheet 4 is still not there here in the excel, but still it has not given any error for me, because whatever we wrote over here, it does this one. And now what I would like to do over here, so I would like to show this one, debug dot print sheet 4 is not found, sheet 4 not found. Cool. So now what will happen if I run this one? Click on here. Okay, sheet 4 not found. And right, or if in case if you want to show it to the business user, you can delete this one. You can say like message box sheet 4 not found, right? So now when they use whenever they run the macro, I will also show like how to run the macros from here on the print using the excel sheet itself. For example, let's go to the view, and let's click on macros, view macros, and say like error handling, this is the macro. Let's click on run sheet 4 not found. Or what is the other way? Just go to insert, and let's look for some shapes. And for example, let's look for a shape, nice shape like this. Okay, click me. So let's assume this is the button. And now right click on this one, click on sn macro, and let's select the error handling one, whichever the macro that you would like to run. Whenever someone clicks on this one, click on OK. Now whenever this person clicks on this one, it shows like sheet 4 not found. So instead of that hard code error, This is really a good one to go ahead and to do this one. Or else what we can do, let's go back to here. Okay, instead of showing this one. Okay, so now just assume that while you were writing the program, now because we already know that sheet 4 is not found, we write this one. For example, let's say the sheet 4 is already there. Okay, and now if they again click on this one, message box, sheet 4 not found. Okay, let's save this one. Huh, why it is still showing sheet 4 not found? So basically, whatever we wrote over here, it works only whenever the sheet 4 is not available. But when we are writing the program, we really don't know whether the sheet is there or not. We assume that the sheet 4 is there. So what I can do is I'm deleting this one. So let's do this one. If worksheet ws is nothing. So basically, if this is not there, let's delete this one. Okay. So if WS is nothing, basically if this is not there, it returns as nothing. Then whenever we use the if, we have to end with end if. Okay. So now basically what I'm telling, hey, if sheet 4, if in case if it is not there, please drop this one. Saying ki sheet 4 not found. Right? Okay. Cool. Else uh, message box sheet 4, ideally we don't have to do, sheet 4 is available. Okay, now let's look at this one. Now we have programmed this in a such a way that now we understand, okay, whether this is there or this is not there. Okay, let's go back to this one. Let's click on this one. Okay, sheet 4 not found because there is no sheet 4. Let's create a new tab, sheet 4. Now let's rename this as sheet 4. Let's go back to here and click on me. So sheet 4 is available. Okay, cool. And let's go back to the program. Let's add one more. So for example, if the sheet 4 is not found, it is stopping over here. Let's assume that we have something over here saying, say, telling that message box uh, going ahead. Let's assume that we have some other lines of program over here. Now, whenever the sheet 4 is not available, I don't want this macro to continue, right? So let's see what how it works. And click me. Sheet 4 is available. Going ahead. This is good. Let's delete the sheet 4. Okay, now sheet 4 is not there. Let's click me. Sheet 4 not found, and it is going ahead. No, it should not be happen. So for that, what we can do, so whenever if you want to end the macro running after some specific requirement, for example, if the sheet 4 is not found, I don't want it to be performed. So right now what's been happening, if the even the sheet 4 is not there, again this is coming out of the loop, and then this is executing the rest of the program lines over here. So I would like to have exit sub here. Okay, let's save this one and let's go here. Let's assume a case where we have sheet 4. Let's see how it works. If the sheet 4 is there, it should show display the message that sheet 4 is available and going ahead as well. So click me. Sheet 4 is available, going ahead. Now, if in case if the sheet 4 is not available, let's delete this one. Okay. And now let's click on me. So it should say sheet 4 not found, and it should end there itself. It should not display going ahead. That's it. And now one more thing that what you should know. So here by using this one, actually we have disabled all the error messages. Even if there is something wrong over here, it may not display the error message. So use this statement only when you are declaring the worksheets. And for the rest, once after whenever you use this one, after declaring the worksheets, so you use this one on error, go to 0. So basically this tells the macros that, hey, from here onwards, whatever you write, if there is an error, I would like to see that error. This is like really helpful because being a developer, you should know like what the error that you're coming across. And if you use this one, basically you will not see the runtime errors, and you may not expect whatever you expect, the program may not return the expected output. So the one few things to remember, Whenever you're declaring a worksheet, always use that on error resume next, and once after you declare the worksheets, use this statement on error go to zero, so which basically resets the mitigations, and it will start showing you runtime errors if in case if there are any errors. And whenever you wanted to exit the program, use the exit sub. Yeah, that's it. Please do reach out to me if you have any questions, or I'm very much happy to help. Thank you for watching this video. I wish you all the best for your learning.